Do you feel like you can't find true peace no matter what you do? Are you always antsy, stressed, or overwhelmed? What if the issue isn't with your situation, but with the ideas you hold? The famous samurai Miyamoto Musashi knew that control, approval, and financial success don't bring peace of mind. Letting go does. We'll talk about 9 beliefs that are really holding you back in this video, and how Musashi's timeless knowledge can help you break free and find true peace. Lesson 1. I must control everything. The need to be in charge is one of the biggest lies in life. People try to guess what will happen in the future, control what other people do, and change things so that they happen the way they want them to. But the truth is that power is just a lie. In the book of 5 Rings, Miyamoto Musashi wrote about how important it is to be able to change. He thought that a fighter should be like water, able to adapt to any situation without fighting it. Musashi never stuck to rigid plans. Instead, he changed his strategies during battle because he knew that being rigid leads to defeat and being flexible leads to success. You feel stressed, anxious, and frustrated when you try to control everything. You fight against life's natural flow because you think peace only comes when everything goes as planned. But life is hard to plan. You will cause more pain when you try to control everything. Letting go of the idea that you are in charge and learning to deal with life's changes are the keys to mental peace. Accept the unknown and you'll be free. Don't fight the present moment. Instead, fully accept it. Have faith in yourself. Believe in the process. Be ready to change, react, and move forward with strength, like Musashi. Lesson 2. Happiness comes from external things. Most people look for happiness in other things, like money, relationships, fame, or things they can buy. But Musashi said that these kinds of ties were bad. He was very strict with himself and spent a lot of time thinking about himself. He knew that things outside of himself could never bring permanent peace. Society tells us that success, money, and praise will make us happy. But the truth is that being happy comes from inside. When you depend on outside factors for your happiness, you give up power over your life. In case you lose them, what do? Does that mean you also lose your peace? Musashi's philosophy was easy to understand. Let go of wants that aren't essential. He thought that a fighter shouldn't be tied down by things, feelings, or ties to the outside world. One should instead work on being self-disciplined and able to take care of themselves. Real happiness doesn't come from getting things. It comes from enjoying them. You get it when you learn, grow, and live your life in line with your beliefs. You can't be taken away from your sense of peace once you let go of the idea that your happiness rests on other people or things. Lesson 3. I need everyone to like me. Many people spend their whole lives trying to please other people, which is a big problem for inner peace. It's important to remember, though, that not everyone will like you. Miyamoto Musashi really got this, and he lived by his own rules instead of what other people thought he should do. His teachings said that a warrior should be free in mind and spirit, not attached to things or other people's views. Some people may not understand you, question your choices, make fun of your dreams, or try to get you to agree with their way of thinking if you're being true to yourself. But history's best leaders, warriors, and thinkers all stuck to their own vision, no matter what other people thought. People who want to find real inner peace need to learn how to stand firm in what they believe. Understand that there are many people in the world who will not like you. To escape being controlled by what other people want, focus on what makes you happy with yourself and set limits. Take a step back from criticism and praise. They're just words and shouldn't rule you. Giving up the need for praise is freeing. It lets you live your life freely, honestly, and without fear. You gain self-respect and peace of mind when you stop looking for approval. In Musashi's view, the way was not about being liked, but about being strong, independent, and determined in what you want to do. With his help, you can break free from the chains of approval and live the life you're supposed to live. Lesson 4. The past defines me. Holding on to the past is one of the worst things that can happen to your peace of mind. A lot of people feel heavy with sorrow, guilt, and shame because they think their past mistakes make them who they are now. They keep thinking about the times they failed and how painful it was, as if they were locked up in a jail they made for themselves. A real warrior, on the other hand, doesn't think about the past. Instead, he learns from it and goes on. Musashi himself had to deal with a lot of problems and setbacks. He lost fights. It was his fault. He didn't let his past stop him, though. He instead used everything that happened to him to get stronger, smarter, and more focused. He knew that holding on to the past was like holding a sword too tightly. Your hands would bleed, and you would lose your ability to fight. When you say to yourself over and over, "I am my past," you let old hurts shape your future. The past is not a sentence for life. It's meant to teach, not lock people up. Musashi believed in always getting better and only thinking about the present time. He thought that a fighter shouldn't be stuck in the past, remembering what went wrong or what went right. Don't think that your past mistakes, heartbreaks, or failures make you who you are. You're not the same person you were yesterday. Today, you decide what kind of person you want to be. When you let go of the past, you make room for growth, change, and real peace within yourself. Don't feel bad about what you did, Musashi once said. Take what you can from it. Learn from it. After that, move forward. Lesson 5. I must always be busy to be valuable. People constantly tell us that being busy means we are important in this day and age. We feel more important the more we work. It seems like the longer our list of things to do, the busier we are. However, this belief is a trick that makes people tired, burned out, and finally unhappy. The famous warrior Miyamoto Musashi lived a disciplined and purposeful life, but he never thought that being busy all the time meant that he was making real progress. He knew that a warrior's strength doesn't come from moving all the time, but from being clear, focused, and accurate. One should not get sidetracked by things that aren't important. He thought about economy over extravagance. You can get hurt when you think you need to be busy all the time to be useful. You start to work without a plan, chasing action instead of success. You give up rest, deep thought, and time to think about yourself, which are all things that you need to grow. When in fight, a warrior doesn't swing his sword around wildly. Instead, he waits, watches, and only strikes when it's necessary. Also in life, it's not about doing more, but about doing what's important. Choose quality over numbers. Let go of the idea that how much you do determines your worth if you want to find inner happiness. Focus on doing fewer things that have a bigger effect instead. Take some time to think, rest, and get your mind in shape. Like Musashi, you need to know when to act and when to be still in order to be truly masterful. Lesson 6. If I fail, I'm not good enough. One of the things people fear the most is failing. A lot of people think that failing means they are not smart, strong, or skilled enough. However, this belief is a lie that puts people in fear and stops them from reaching their full potential. Miyamoto Musashi knew that failing is not a bad thing. It's a necessary part of getting better. There are over 60 duels he fought and never lost a single one. But that doesn't mean he never did something wrong. He got good at what he did by making mistakes and practicing over and over again. Everything that went wrong taught him something and made him stronger. Failure does not show how valuable you are. That much you know. It's just comments. You can see what works, what doesn't, and where you need to make changes. The most important fighters, leaders, and thinkers in history all failed, and they failed a lot. They were different from everyone else because they didn't let loss define them. It gave them energy to keep going. Just think about it. If you try to avoid failing, you will also avoid succeeding. Leaving your comfort zone and taking chances is the only way to really grow. You will fall, but each time is a chance to get back up stronger and smarter. Musashi thought that being strong wasn't about never falling, but about always getting back up. Don't hold on to the idea that failing makes you worthless. Accept it as a part of the journey instead. You are not the mistakes you make. You're the one who changes, learns from them, and keeps going. A real fighter doesn't fear failing. They know how to do it. Lesson 7. I need to fix everything and everyone. A lot of people think it's their job to fix everything and everyone around them, so they carry the weight of other people's issues. They feel like they have to step in and fix things, whether it's a friend who is having a hard time, a bad relationship, or family problems. But this view is a trap. It makes you angry tired, and stuck in a cycle of disappointment that never ends. Miyamoto Musashi knew that everyone has to find their own way. A fighter doesn't waste time or energy trying to change or control other people. Instead, he works on becoming master of himself. He says that distance, not indifference, is what makes you strong. It means knowing that you can't make someone change if they aren't ready. If you try to fix people, you take away their chance to grow. It's normal to have problems, make mistakes, and fail in life. Just like contact is the only way to make a sword sharper, problems help people grow. You take away their chances to learn if you keep getting in the way. You can only be truly at peace with yourself when you realize that you have no power over other people. You don't have to stop caring. You just need to set good limits. Someone can be helped, but you can't make them listen. You can care about them and show support, but you can't carry their loads for them. Focus on setting a good example instead of trying to help other people. Musashi never tried to force his way of life on other people. He just lived a strong, wise, and disciplined life. People who were ready to learn did what he said. Similarly, if you work on improving yourself, other people who want to change will be automatically inspired by what you do. Lesson 8. I'll be happy when. If I get this job, I'll be happy. If I find the right partner, I'll be happy. If I make more money, I'll finally feel at peace. How many times have you said this to yourself? One of the biggest things that gets in the way of inner peace is the belief that happiness is always somewhere in the future. It keeps you unhappy all the time, thinking that you're never good enough and that your life is missing something. Miyamoto Musashi knew that waiting for happiness is a bad idea. He lived by the ideas of being present, not caring about other people, and being independent. For him, peace wasn't something to seek. It was something to work toward all the time. He wasn't after money, fame, or ease of living. Instead, his journey, his discipline, and the way he thought made him happy. When you link your happiness to a plan for the future, you give up control over your feelings. I can't be happy until I do this, you tell yourself. What will happen when you reach your goal? Though, you'll only feel happy for a short time before you have to set new goals for your happiness. This keeps going and going. When you understand that happiness is in the present, you will find real inner peace. It's in the little things, like the sun on your skin, the morning silence, and taking a deep breath before starting something new. Instead of saying, I'll be happy when, ask yourself, what can I do right now to make me happy? Musashi thought that you should live in the present because that's all you really have. Today is the only time you have control over your life. Learn to be happy and at peace with yourself. Give up the idea that happiness is always just around the corner. You already have it inside you if you choose to see it. Lesson 9. Pain and struggle are always bad. People often see pain and difficulty as enemies that they should avoid at all costs. We do everything we can to get away from pain, whether it's through quick fixes, distractions, or habits that help us relax. What if, though, pain is a great teacher and not a threat to our peace? Great samurai Miyamoto Musashi knew that struggle and pain are necessary steps on the way to control and strength. He fought many wars, lost loved ones, and went through many hardships in his life, but he never ran away from them. Instead, he accepted them because he knew they would help him grow as a person and become wiser. When we feel pain, whether it's physical or mental, it makes us face our limits, our weaknesses, and our weaknesses. We are pushed past what we think we can handle, which helps us see where we need to improve. It was easy for Musashi to teach, don't run away from pain, learn from it. He thought that real fighters face problems head on because that's how they got stronger, smarter, and more resilient. He used the hard times to make his mind and heart stronger, like how a sword is sharpened on a whetstone. Being stuck in a loop of avoiding pain and struggle because we think they're always bad keeps us from reaching our full potential. We miss out on the chance to learn from pain when we see it as something to be afraid of or avoid. Instead, accept that you're uncomfortable. Realize that every challenge is a chance to improve your character, your skills, and your understanding of who you are. The story of Musashi's life shows that the best times to grow are when things are hard. When you face problems, don't try to avoid them. Think of them as the fire that makes you stronger on the inside. You can turn your pain into strength, just like Musashi, and come out stronger than ever.